the story of how you got into Atlantis is an interesting one. Martin Garrow told us over at Gate World a few years ago that, okay, let me set this up here. So in season 1, for those who are in the know and those who are and need a refresher and those who don't, there is an episode called Letters from Pegasus, where David as McKay has a line near the end of the episode that was originally written to reference a sibling that was a brother.
Yeah.
And then David went to Martin Garrow and a couple of the other writers and producers and said, I actually have an actress sister. Mm-hmm. Would you mind if we change this to a sister? And
he never lets me forget it.
Right. and Martin Garrow recalls, oh yeah, whatever, Dave, fine. We're not going to hire your sister, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you recall the play where David and Martin and maybe a couple of the others came and saw you? And Martin was like, we've got to do an episode with her.
So that was coincidental. So Brendan Gall.
Yes. Martin's best friend.
World, dominating the world now in TV writing.
Right.
He writes, they created Blind Spot together and all that. They have like 25 shows.
Right.
But so Brendan and I had met a couple of years before, and I was part of his whole crowd. Like we just all hit it off, and we started doing theater together with Unspun Theater, which was a theater company that's still going. And so it was Martin was only there because of Brendan.
Oh,
and then
okay.
He saw me and he was like, Hewlett, and he made the connection. And then I think that was the first thing where he was like, oh, this could actually work. I can't remember if it was the play was probably Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump.
That's a title.
It's a title. It's a place in Alberta.
Okay.
It's a place in Alberta, and it was a collective creation that I worked on with Brendan and with a bunch of my friends. And it might have been that he saw. I think that was it. And Brendan directed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And ended up becoming Caleb Miller, Jeannie's husband, in Atlantis.
Yes.
How cool, man.
And I guess there's a character called Brendan Gall as well.
He died in season 1. He got eaten by a wraith.
There you go.
That's right.
That's what you get if you cross Martin Garrow.
Martin Garrow, that's right.
Yeah, no. So it was through that, I think. So it was kind of that lucky. Yeah.
So let's set the stage. You get a call. We've got the story, or how did that happen? Season 3, McKay and Mrs. Miller.
David told me that he had planted the seed with the Letters of Pegasus thing, but he didn't make a big deal out of it because this business,
correct,
right? This business and sci-fi, they might have wanted some 6-foot-tall Cylon. wrong show. But
right.
You never know. And so he wasn't like, this is going to happen.
Right. And no, it's just an idea.
Yeah. And then he did Dog's Breakfast, and he cast me in Dog's Breakfast, and we were supposed to do that as a tiny, it was before.
Okay.
And so that was also an opportunity for us to play that dynamic, very similar dynamic, show our chemistry on screen. So he thought about that too. And I think that was also part of it. So Dog's Breakfast happened. And then I guess with Stargate, they wrote the script, and it was very much in our voices. And I don't know, I didn't know Martin yet. So he has we all have a similar voice, honestly, but he wrote those characters. And then David, I think when David saw the script, then he was like, this could actually happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously I still had to audition, right? Because I hadn't done very much. I think I had only done one show and then those 2 episodes I told you about. And so I auditioned, and I think I got a call back. I can't remember if I did a callback or if I didn't need to. And then I booked it, and it was insane. It was insane. I didn't think it would happen. I had no money. I was doing theater. I was living with like 5 roommates. It came out of nowhere.
You're doing what you loved, you know?
Yeah.
You got to do what you have to do to make it work. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, don't act.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know.
obviously,
But
he didn't push you too hard on that, thankfully.
no, he did push me, but I don't listen to anyone. So
Good for you, girl.
if pushed, I pushed back. But yeah, so it happened. And I remember reading the script and being like, I can't believe this is actually real. Because it was a hefty guest star too. It was definitely the biggest thing I'd ever done. Definitely. And, you know, going to Vancouver and staying at the Sutton Place. And
Right. Isn't that a great hotel?
Oh my gosh. And I'd been watching the show too. So it was just like, this is insane. And it went really well. It went really smoothly until the one scene where I did have a lot of the techno babble, and it was Amanda, myself, and David. And we did it in blocking, and I knew all the lines, and it was perfect. And then when the cameras were on, I was like, and so that was that was the moment where, and also I had done, it was a red eye flight and then right to the studio fitting. And so it was all kind of, and then I'm on the set and I'm like, there's a Stargate and what's going on? And so I had one of those moments where I was like, oh gosh, I'm having trouble getting through this. And I didn't know you could sort of stop and go back. And, but those were the 2 best people for that to happen with, because she was so lovely. Amanda was so lovely.
Those are the 2 that the scripts have always gone to for the information, you know, and that's, you know, you're not going to find better teachers. True.
And also they were so understanding when it didn't come, because they were like, sometimes they didn't know either. And
correct.
You know,
it's happened to all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And David was really lovely about it. Like, he didn't make fun of me, which he sometimes would, but he didn't. And yeah, and so it was a phenomenal experience.
What was it like blocking with 2 Davids? I mean, obviously on the set when you guys were blocking, there was a stand-in, you know, and then the stand-in would turn into a tennis ball.
Yeah, the whole thing, I forgot about that. The fact that it was one of my earlier gigs. And so I didn't really know what was normal and what wasn't normal. So I'm like, I guess you talk to tennis balls in film and TV. Well, all right. The stand-in thing was funny because they got someone who was the same height as David and had they gave him the same haircut. But then I went into makeup one day and there was this piece of wax paper with all these blobs, like disgusting brown blobs on it. And I was like, what is that? And then they're like, those are David's moles. David's moles. And they had to match. Like, he had a big mole on the back of him. They put this like big mole on the back of the guy's neck. And David was like, is that what I look like from behind? And I'm like, it actually is a tiny mole, but you know.
But still, you have to get it right.
And if you see that, he never sees back there. He's like, I have a giant mole on the back of my neck. He's like, it can't be that size, right?
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.